So just a quick intro. I know this is a difficult time for everyone, and everybody's stuck at home, and everything we see on the news or outside is just seems to be negative. So the reason I started this quarantines thing is it was one thing that I could do just by being while I'm home, and something I could share with people and bring people together, and to put out some positive vibes. So I'm a surgery resident, and I'm right now on a research fellowship. So I'm working from home until July. I did volunteer to go to the hospital. They haven't called me in yet, but just, I mean, in case things get to a point where they need more staff, that's probably what will happen. But in the meantime, since we're stuck at home, I thought we'd do this together. Okay, so let's cut the intros and get right to it. So a little bit of guitar anatomy. So this is a guitar. It's an acoustic. If you have a guitar at home, there are different types of guitars. You'll see the classical guitar will have nylon strings. This acoustic guitar will have metal strings. It's just a difference in the sound. This cutaway here is on it. Some acoustics have it. It's just for you to be able to reach better, but it doesn't really matter much for the sound. This is the body of the guitar. The strap hangs here. The top, it's important because when you get fancy with guitars, you can kind of choose the type of wood that the top is made of, the body's made of, the neck is made of, and so on. So this is the neck. Frets, this is important. These are the bars that you see here. And when you press, let's say you're trying to read chords or tabs, we'll talk about that. You don't want to press on the fret itself, on the bar itself. When we talk about the first or second or the third fret, we're talking about that space between the bars. That's where you want to put your finger. And you don't really want to put it in the middle. Usually a little bit closer to the next bar without being on the bar itself will give you the best sound quality. So, and then, so these are the frets. If you look at the guitar from here, you see these dots. Some guitars also have them here. So these are just like a visual, kind of a visual landmark for you to know where you are. So there's one usually at the third, fifth, seventh, and so on. And when you reach the one that has two, this is an octave. So if you imagine a piano, 1 second here. So this is a piano, what a piano looks like. This is an octave. So there's 7 notes, right? So, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si. These are the 7 notes. And then when you get to the next shape that looks like that, you're on the second octave. So that second octave will be the next same note on just a different frequency. So let's say I'm on C here, which is do essentially in French. So if you're here, so this note and this note are the same. This is the same note too, but you're just on different octaves. And that's very important because this may look a little confusing at first, like there's so many things on a guitar, but actually it's just a very redundant system. There's built-in redundancy, so you'll get to the same note. You'll get to the same note in different ways, and that allows you to do very different things and to be very creative with what you do. So say the same chord, let's say, you can play it like that, and you can play it like that. There's different ways to play that, and it allows you to do different things. Okay, so this is the guitar, and then here you have these tuning keys, and just by turning them, you can make the frequency a little bit higher or a little bit lower. Could you actually turn the camera so we can see your guitar? Okay, we're gonna turn again. Sorry about that. Thanks for telling me. Let me know. And if I'm going too fast or too slow, or if this is too basic, just let me know. I just don't know what level people are at. So I'm just going through basics quickly, and then we'll do something a little more interesting. So these are the keys, and then you can like adjust the tuning. The way the guitar functions is the length of the string will dictate what kind of sound you're getting. So when you're pressing here, instead of not pressing at all on the string, you are technically making this string much, much shorter, and the frequency is going to be much higher. So, and by higher, I mean you're going to hear that kind of sound that's different. And so by pressing here, you reduce the string to just this distance instead of everything, and that's how you're getting this difference in sound. So everything before my finger is really not being played when I play this. Okay? And so the goal of this session, and if there's enough interest, we can always do that, make it a regular thing, or do it next Sunday, ideally on Sundays. Let me know, just DM me or comment on the post. And so the goal is not to learn, like academic music theory or how to read, really read music and so on. The point is just to learn enough to be able to play and sing and do something with that skill, so that you can have fun doing it. So we're gonna learn some chords, and with these 4 chords, you can actually play half of the songs you'll ever hear on radio, which is actually very funny. But you can actually be very creative with these, and it'll help you like get started with some songs. So we'll start with the first one. If you have your guitars, this is called a G chord. A chord is just a collection of notes that ring well together. So this is a G chord. This is a simple way of playing it. There are different ways, but it doesn't matter, right? We just want to get practical and be able to play. So we're gonna press on I don't know if you can see my guitar, try to do the same. So I'm on the 6th string, so I'm counting from the bottom up. So this is number 6. 6th string, I'm gonna press on the 3rd fret, okay? And see where I'm pressing. I'm not pressing on the thing, not really in the middle, kinda here. And then very important, your finger, this part of your finger, this part has to be perpendicular to the guitar. If it's like that, you're gonna mute the chord, the strings that are under it. And if you mute them, then you can't hear anything. It's gonna be, you're gonna hear something like that. Sometimes you wanna do that on purpose, but you really wanna try to have it perpendicular so that the note under it can still be heard, okay? Another thing about picks, you don't really need a pick. You can play without it, but if you have one and you wanna use it, the proper way to use it is to kind of like a key, like you would hold a key, have your thumb like that and kind of hold it like this. And then you can kind of go. And the pick will allow you to do things like that are more like a, can you guess what this is?